Good day, everyone. I'm Dr. Cortez, and for our lesson today, under the subject productivity and quality tools, we're going to discuss quality management. And dun sa mga hindi pa familiar sa akin, I'm Dr. Cortez. I call myself as your business doctor. I'm Doctor of Education. I'm Doctor of Business Administration. And before I continue, pwede bang mag-request sa inyo to click that subscribe button. So, thank you in advance, guys. Ayan, so, umpisa natin yung ating topic now. So, we have a handful of topic for this lesson, quality management, quality assurance, quality gurus, dimensions of quality, and service quality. And for first one, quality management. So what does the term quality mean? So ito yung ating basic definition ng quality. The ability of a product or service to consistently meet or exceed customer expectations. So maraming mga elements na paano natin masasabi na may quality isang product. May dalawang klase ng binibenta isang company or selling two types of product, the product and the service. Pag sinabi kasing quality, we can evaluate the quality of product in various terms. So we have samples of those elements, aspect kaya masasabing quality ang isang product. Firstly, we can say that a product has a quality if it has durability. For example, a well-made smartphone that lasts for several years without needing repairs. That is durability. So we can say that the smartphone has a quality. So sa iba, kung matibay, what is quality for them? Sa iba naman, hindi naman tibay yung panayang tinitingnan but the functionality. Example, a blender that consistently blends ingredients smoothly without overheating. So, gagamit mo sa inyo, talagang bumili ka ng blender kasi ang purpose is to blend without overheating yung blender. So, hindi siya durability, hindi siya tibay, kundi yung gumagana ba yung blender nung ito ay binili mo, no? Kasi hindi porke matibay ay gumagana or hindi porke matibay meron siyang functionality. So magkaiba yung functionality kaysa durability. For some user ng blender, yung functionality ang kailangan tinitingnan doon. Meron naman aesthetic design naman tinitingnan, aesthetic appeal. A luxury car, for example, with an elegant design and superior craftsmanship, yung design naman ang tinitingnan. Sa isang sasakyan, yung design, yung craftsmanship nung pagkakagawa, for them, that is quality. Never mind the functionality, never mind yung kanyang durability. Kahit hindi masyadong matibay, kahit not functional, basta yung appeal, yung appearance nung sasakyan. That is aesthetic. So for them, that is quality. So iba naman, hindi naman aesthetic, hindi naman durability, but the reliability naman yung kanilang binili. For example, a washing machine that works without breaking down over extended period of time na madalas mas ang ginagamit. Yung subok na matibay, subok na matatag na talagang hindi ka iniiwanan. Yung sinasabi nating subok mo na to kasi ginagamit mo na siya for a longer time. So, ilang taon mo siyang ginagamit pero hindi pa rin siya nasisira, no? So, for them, that is quality. Pag service naman, iba naman ang product sa iba yung product sa service na. Siyempre, pag sinabing service, quality sa atin, for example, yung responsiveness. Yung customer service representative will quickly answer yung mga tanong mo or complaints mo. For example, pag tumawag ka sa kanila within the day, they will return the call sa'yo. So for them, that is quality. Iba naman, if the person in charge of the service, example, isang beauty parlor, no? Napaka-professional yung mga gumugupit, mga hairdresser doon are professional. So for them, yung quality doon yung professionalism. Yung iba naman, customization. If they can customize yung pinapagawa mo, no? Pag service kasi, iba sa product, di ba? Ang product, standard yung pag bumili ka ng cellphone, right away, lahat ng cellphone pare-pareho. Pag service kasi, hindi siya standardized. You can customize yung service. Example, sa beauty salon, di ba? Yung gupit naman, di pare-pareho, di ba? Depende sa haba ng buhok. But if you can have your own style that they can follow, yung mga instruction na gusto mong klase ng gupit. So for them, that customization is quality. So yung mga meaning ng quality sa iba-ibang mga tao. Sa iba-iba, depende sa product and or service. Okay, so lipat naman tayo sa next slide natin. May evolution of quality management. Ang quality management pala is hindi siya existing na matagal na, hindi tulad ng ibang mga management concept na matagal na siyang ginagamit. Example, strategic management, matagal na yun, matagal na ang ginagamit yan. Ang quality pala ay napakabata pa. To be exact, it is only 100 years ngayong 2024 because it started the evolution of quality management. They started the concept of quality in 1924. Using statistical process control charts, 1930, tables for acceptance sampling. 1940, the statistical sampling technique. 1950s, quality assurance, total quality control. 1960s, zero defect. In 1970s, quality assurance in services. So, ganun kabata yung concept ng quality management. Then, quality assurance versus strategic approach. Ang definition dito, quality assurance emphasis on finding and correcting defects before reaching the market. Ito mga aspects ng different aspects of quality assurance na ginagamit natin sa business. For example, sa quality assurance, yung preventive approach yung ating ginagamit. Sabihin, hindi pa nangyayari yung defect, ay ginagawa natin siya ng paraan. It focuses on identifying and fixing issues after they occur. Quality assurance emphasizes preventing problems before they arise through proper planning. Ang quality control kasi is different from quality assurance. Ang quality control, we correct the defect pagkatapos nangyari. Whereas quality assurance, yung defect ay chine-check natin, correct natin bago siya mangyari. So, mas magandang preventive approach, diba? Sabi natin, mas maganda yung prevention kaysa cure. Ang quality assurance, siya, process-oriented. It is concerned with improving the overall process involved in production or service delivery, ensuring that every step follows established quality standard. Yan ang quality assurance. May sinusunod tayong mga steps, may sinusunod tayong mga standards pag sinabi natin quality assurance. Example, quality assurance, we can be assured that we have a quality assurance kung may sinusunod tayong standard like the ISO 9001 or other regulatory requirements ng government. Samantalang yung strategic approach naman is different from quality assurance. Kasi nga pa, strategic approach based sa ating definition dito, proactive, focusing on preventing mistakes from occurring, greater emphasis on customer satisfaction. So some element of strategic approach, it refers to a plan and systematic method of achieving long-term goals. So some key elements of strategic approach are goal setting. Meron kang tinatarget, example, zero wastage, or improving the productivity ng mga empleyado. So have your goal. So that is goal setting. So strategic approach natin, defining clear, measurable, and realistic long-term objectives that the organization or individual aims to achieve. Yan ang ating strategy, meron tayong goal na yung SMART na sinusunod natin. The goal should be specific, measurable, attainable, tapos ang reliability, and time-bound. Sa ating approach din, strategy, part din dito yung environmental analysis. No? Yung mga nasa loob na environment, tapos nasa labas ng environment. Ito yung tinatawag nating SWOT. We are familiar with SWOT, di ba? Pag sinabi natin strategic approach, yung strength, weaknesses sa loob, di ba? Yung opportunities and threats are external environment. Okay, so next slide. Pag-usapan naman natin mga tao. Yung mga gurus pagdating sa quality management. So the first one is Walter Shewhart. He's known as the father of statistical quality control. So some of this contribution of Walter, aside from being the father of statistical quality control, he's an American physicist, engineer, and statistician. Known as the one of the pioneer nag-umpisa ng field of quality control and process improvement. So iba sa kanyang mga contribution daw, Shewhart introduced the concept of using a statistical method to monitor and control manufacturing process and develop control chart to distinguish between normal process and variation. So if you are familiar with yung parang graph na ginagamit natin, yung kita mo kasi doon, sa statistic, no? Yung parang mga linya, example, meron kang straight line. Then, pinaplot mo yung mga variables kung saan graph mo. Pag masyadong malayo yung mga dots, sabihin niyan, yung pagkakaiba, yung variation ay talagang malaki. Pero pag yung mga dot mong na-plot ay malapit lang dun sa straight line, ibig sabihin, walang masyadong variation. O hindi masyadong malayo yung mga agwat. So that this part of statistical quality kung ginagamit ni Walter Shewhart, introduced by him, useful din sa atin. Then our next quality guru, si Edward Deming. Edward Deming naman was an American engineer, statistician, professor, and consultant. He is widely recognized for his work in quality management then. And contribution siya, some of his contributions was used in Japan. Siyang nagpa-popularize ng Deming's 14th point of management. He formulated kasi a principle for improving business effectiveness. Meron siyang introduce sa 14 point na will transform management practices to foster quality and productivity. These principles focus on driving out fear, breaking down barriers between departments daw, and eliminating quota and targets in favor of quality-based objectives. Yan mga contribution ni Deming. And siya rin yung nag-popularize tong PDCA. Yan. So if you can recall sa ating mga past lesson, PDCA stand for Plan, Do, Check, and Act. Itong apat na to, no? Pag meron ka raw ginagawa, this PDCA is a cycle of method for continuous improvement in organization. Sabihin, pag nagplano ka, pag mayroon kang ginagawa, una mong gagawin, you plan, you do, then pag mayroon kang ginawa, you check kung may error or may discrepancy, and based on that, you act. Then, pero, so paikot siya, no? Para sa cycle. Ibig sabihin yan, pag nag-act ka, you also plan ulit, no? Kaya nga, continuous improvement yung kanong na sinasabing yung PDCA, no? Is a continuous improvement and focus on quality and continuous improvement. Yan, sabi ni Deming. Sabihin, sa ating mga company or corporations or organizations later on, although we are doing something, we are not stopping, right? Tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung ating paghanap ng improvement sa ating mga ginagawang product or service. Okay, and next one. Ay naman si Joseph Juran. Kami si Joseph Juran dito. Okay. Hanapin natin si Joseph. Ito si Joseph Juran. Okay. Joseph Juran was a Romanian-American engineer, management consultant, and one of the key figures in the development of quality management. So some of the contributions of Joseph Juran, itong Joseph Juran's quality trilogy. He introduced a framework for managing quality which consists of 3 key processes. So para kay Juran, ang quality sa kanya ay 3. Unang-una, dapat may ginagawang quality planning. Identifying customer needs and developing products or service that meet those needs. That is quality planning, number 1. No? Yung pangalawa, quality control. Monitoring operations to ensure that quality goals are consistently met. So, it is not enough na meron kang ginagawang plano. Right? Dapat kinokontrol mo rin. At yung pangatlo is quality improvement. Continuously. So, pareho sila ni Deming, no? Si Juran and Deming of pareho because they are promoting continuous improvement. So, sabi niya sa quality management improvement, continuously enhancing process and systems to achieve higher quality and reducing cost. Yan. So, reducing cost. It's important na, no, na may reduction ng cost. Kasi yung iba kasi, although napakataas ng quality, kaya lang, you're also spending high on quality. Pero sa kanya, kay Juran, we are improving quality but at the same time, we are reducing cost. Yan. So, dapat walang kwentang quality ba magastos, di ba? And si Juran din nag-introduce ang Pareto Principle. Ito yung famous na principle, na Pareto Principle, or the 80-20 rule. Ang Pareto Principle kasi I know I have already discussed this one, yung Pareto Principle sa ating previous lesson, but to reiterate, ang Pareto Principle, Juran popularized the use of the Pareto Principle in quality management. So 80-20 rule, in short, the 80-20, so 80-20, 80% of problems are often caused by 20% of the causes. Kaya tinawag isang 80-20. So this principle is widely used in identifying and prioritizing the most significant issues for improvement. Kung sabihin, yung mga result, 80% ng problem ay nagagaling sa kunti lang na percentage, 20% of the causes. Yun ang contribution ni Joseph Juran. And yung ating next, si Armand Feinbohm. So, po tayo sa Armand Feinbohm, anong kanyang contribution? Ito. Sa Armand Feinbohm, Boom, by the way, an American quality control expert and business leader known for developing the concept of total quality control. So, yung TQC, saan nag-introduce. Ang TQC or Total Quality Control is a precursor or pinagmulan ang tinatawag natin ngayong the TQM. Yan. So, we are familiar with the TQM, Total Quality Management. No? Sa Armand Feinbohm ang nag-introduce. So, ang kanyang mga contribution sa quality management is ito nga, Total Quality Control. Feinbohm introduced the concept of TQC in this book, Total Quality Control. Ang TQC, it emphasizes that quality is the responsibility of every department and function within an organization. Hindi lang daw siya responsibility ng quality assurance department, no? But kaya nga total eh. Ibig sabihin, bawat department sa isang company, we have a role in improving the quality. Yan, kaya total quality management. Every department and function within an organization, not just the quality control or inspection. Iba kasing mga company, we are relying on the quality control office or department para sila mag-control. Kaya Armand, hindi. Lahat ng department ay kasama sa pag-improve ng quality ng isang product or service. Ayan. Then we have the next one. So Philip B. Crosby. Sabi ni Philip Crosby, he is an American business consultant and quality expert known for his methods on the importance of zero defect. Yan. We have also been hearing about the zero defect. Kay Crosby yan. So, mga kanyang contribution, the zero defect concept, Crosby popularized the ideas that quality is free Meaning, the cost of preventing defects are far lower than the cost of correcting them. Ayan. So, kasi pag gumagastos tayo, baka masyadong magastos, no? Although gumagastos tayo, pero nasabi niya, mas mura o dapat mas mababa yung gastos natin in preventing yung mga defect. Kasi pag hindi, mas mahal ang maggastos natin in correcting. Mas maganda yung ini-prevent kaysa kino-correct. Kasi pag sinabing prevent, di pa nangyayari yung defect. Pag sinabing correcting, nangyayari na yung defect. Diba? So sabi niya, the cost of preventing defect should be far lower than the cost of correcting them. So mas mura daw. Mas kunti na magagastos mo pag piniprevention lang. Right? So he introduced zero defect as a management philosophy. He advocates that the belief that it is possible and essential to produce products or service without any defect. Although masyadong mataas itong standard na to, is setting high standard for quality. But he argued that striving for zero defect reduces waste, rework. Pag walang defect kasi, wala tayong gasto sa wastage, wala tayong gasto sa reworking, wala tayong gasto sa inefficiency. Pero pag maraming defect, you can imagine marami tayong gasto para dyan. So, cost control din ang tawag natin dyan. Then after Philip Crosby, meron tayo si Kaoru Ishikawa. Ayan, I know, Ishikawa is, you are familiar with Ishikawa, di ba? Kasi I know we already discussed Ishikawa because of the fishbone diagram. Can you recall the fishbone diagram pinag-usapan natin nakaraan? Sa Ishikawa diagram din tawag natin dyan or the fishbone. So ilan sa mga contribution ni Kaoru Ishikawa, yun nga yung fishbone diagram or the Ishikawa diagram. So one of Ishikawa's most well-known contribution is the development of the Ishikawa diagram, also called the fishbone diagram or the cause and effect diagram. If you can recall sa ating previous lesson, yung fishbone, di ba? Pag meron kang problem, kaya tinawag isang fishbone para sang tinik ng isda, di ba? Yung pag meron kasing problem, meron isang 5 causes. Yung bawat isa sa mga causes, meron pang mga mas naging cause pa. Yung mga we can call sub-causes. That is the fishbone diagram. Example, absenteeism is the problem. Sa anong mga reason? Ang absenteeism or not absenteeism but productivity. Low productivity sa isang company. Yan ang problem. So anong mga causes? Sabihin natin absenteeism ng empleyado at mababang skills. Dalawang sample ng cause ng ng low productivity, absenteeism. Yung absenteeism, meron pa sa mga causes. Example, absenteeism, malayong tirahan ng mga tao, or traffic, walang masakyan. So ibig sabihin, hinihimay pa natin yung isang cause para malaman natin yung mga sub-causes pa sa ilalim na tinawag natin sa fishbone or Ishikawa diagram. Okay? Then the next one, another Japanese, si Junichi Taguchi. Ako na si Junichi Taguchi dito. Okay, Junichi Taguchi, a Japanese engineer and statistician known for his innovative contribution to quality management and experimental design. He played a pivotal role in improving product quality and reducing cost through systematic approach. So meron siyang inintroduce na Taguchi method. Taguchi developed a structured approach known as the Taguchi method or Taguchi quality engineering. This methodology focuses on robust design and experimentation to enhance product performance while minimizing variation and cost. It emphasizes the importance of designing product and processes that are resilient to variations, thereby ensuring consistent quality. So basically, ang kanyang mga design dito is focusing on robust design. Right? Para magkamali man, or mali or may kulang, na offset ng isang robust design. Kasi sobrang laki ng example, isang design, di ba? Ina-offset. Kasi pag nag-design ka ng maliit lang, or payat or slim at kinulang. So mahirap nang i-offset kasi maliit lang yung design talaga. Pero pag yung design daw yung malaki at may kinulang sa isang part, parang na-offset ang isa kasi ang design is robust or malaki. Diba? Parang hindi sa mahalatang may kulang kasi robust ang design ng product niya. Ayan. So yun natin mga quality guru na we are following their concept or contribution pagdating sa quality management. Okay, and let's go to the next one. So ito yung mga summary ng mga quality guru. Naming the 14 points, special and common causes of variation, si Juran. Equality is fitness for use, equality trilogy, si Painvong, quality is a total field, Crosby, quality is free, zero defect, Shikawa, the cause and effect diagrams, Taguchi, the loss function, and si Ono and Shingo, the continuous improvement. So common dito sa mga quality, majority of them are focusing on continuous improvement. Okay, so dimensions of quality. So sa unang mga slides natin, we have discussed, para sa iba, ano ba yung mga quality para sa kanila. Ito naman ay additional dimensions of quality. You can say the quality based on the performance ng isang product, main characteristics of the product or service, not durability but on the performance. At iba nga, ang performance naman ay mahina. So sa iba, hindi sa quality. They're focusing the performance sa product. Iba naman, sabi the same thing, aesthetic or appearance or feel, smell or taste. Ang galing, pagpagkain pala ito, kahit makita mo lang yung appearance niya or mahawakan mo lang, maamoy mo lang, malansahan mo lang. Never mind the design, masarap na. Taste. Iba naman, quality, pag meron sa special features like extra characteristic. Performance naman sa dun sa kung binili mo siya because you're expecting something, conformance to your expectation, that is quality. Sabihin, pag may binili ka tapos hindi nag-conform sa expectation mo, kahit matibay yan, kahit mura siya, basta hindi nag-conform sa yung expectation, hindi sa quality. Now, in the opposite, pag nag-conform sa yung expectation, so for them, that is quality. Siguro ka na hindi masyadong patibay, kahit wala masyadong durability, basta it conforms to expectation. So for them, that is quality. Iba naman, reliability, consistency of performance, yung mga German technology, nasubukan natin yan na napaka-consistent. Kahit ilang taon mo nang ginagamit yung kanyang performance or consistency, ganoon pa rin. May mga product kasing matibay lang siya o reliable lang siya. Mga first few weeks or first few months, but on the second year ng gamit, parang bumababa ang kanyang performance. So kung hindi masyadong reliable, parang iwanan ka sa ere. Parang mga sasakyan natatakot ka na tumirik. Pero may mga sasakyan, nasubok mo na reliable. Sabi mo, hindi ka iiwan, Hindi ka babahiya. Hindi ka ititirik ng pinili mong sasakyan. Pero sa reliability. Continuation, iba naman. Yan, ito na yung durability. Kahit hindi masyadong appealing, walang masyadong appearance sa design, basta durable. Useful life ang pinag-uusapan ng product or service. Iba naman, perceived quality, indirect evaluation of quality or reputation. Yung bang iniisip mo, your perceiving or perception. Iniisip mo na ganito yung kanyang performance. Iba naman, serviceability, service after sale. Ito yung mga after sale service na hinahanap. Ang product na binibili mo, marketing kasi yung pag if you're selling a product, then They will visit you or they will ask you after the sale, "Sir, kamusta yung product na binili mo sa amin? Baka meron kulang, baka meron pa yung gusto, or meron pa yung complaint, sabihin lang sa amin." Yung mga after sale service, that is serviceability. That is marketing, no? Mga service after sale na maasahan mo. Iba kasi pagkabenta, wala nang consultation eh. So that is selling. Ang marketing iba. Okay, so examples of quality dimensions. Performance. Sample natin, product, automobile. Everything works. Quality ng motor based sa performance. Everything works, fit and finish, ride, handling, grade of materials used. Tapos quality rin siya after sale, no? Example. Pagdating sa service, di ba sabi ko magkaibang product tapos service? Pag product yung binibenta mo like automobile, yung performance, kitang-kita mo eh. Lahat ng parts, yung sasakyan talagang gumagana. Pagdating naman sa service, example ng service na business, auto repair. So, yung performance dito, all work done at agreed price, friendliness ng attendant, ng auto repair, ng mechanic, friendliness ng mechanic, courtesy, competence and quickness. Kasi ang auto repair service, nagre-rely tayo doon sa marketing na yung tao mismo ang part ng marketing. Ang product kasi, ang minamarket ang product na. Pero pag service ang ating minamarket, yung tao, yung people, is part of marketing. So dapat friendly, may courtesy, may quickness. Kasi pag wala sa nito, that is not quality. Pag masungit, no? Sabi ng doon tayo magpagawa ng sasakyan sa kantong atelier, no? Bakit? Kasi ang bait ng mekaniko, very accommodating, always smiling. So quality, di ba? Hindi yung paggawa ang pinag-usapan kundi yung tao mismo. Aesthetic, pag sasakyan, yung interior design, the soft touch, for example, quality, yung base aesthetic. Pag service ang binibenta mo, yung clean working area ng isang service, take note about this one, guys, no? Pag service ang yung binibenta, they will not look sometimes at the performance, but on the aesthetic. Pag sasakyan, madaling pag-usapan yung design eh. Pero pag service, aesthetic tinatawag natin, yung environment. Example, malinis ba yung lugar? Malinis ba yung waiting area? Meron ba silang waiting area? Right? Kasi, huwag tayong magpagawa dyan. Bakit? Kasi ang dumi ng kanilang counter. Yung kanilang area of production madumi. So for them, that is not quality. It can affect marketability. Surrounding ng isang lugar, no? It can affect marketability. Special features. Pag automobile, for example, na product, yung gauge, control placement, the cellular phone, the CD player. Pag sa auto repair naman, yung location is part ng quality. Pag malapit or malayo. Call when ready, computer diagnostics is part of quality dimension. Diba? Ang common sa repair shop kahit mano-mano pwede, diba? Pero once na meron kang special feature like computer diagnostic ng sasakyan, so for them, that is quality. So, more on examples of quality, based naman to sa reliability. So, ganun pa rin, kino-compare pa rin natin yung product versus service. Pag reliability ang ating basis of quality, pag product yan, yung infrequency of breakdowns, yan. O, ibig sabihin, pag madalas nag-breakdown, hindi siya reliable. Pagdating naman sa service o na auto repair, for example, work done correctly, ready when promised, that is reliability. Isang service. Ibig sabihin, pag nag-promise ka, tapos hindi naman na-deliver yung service on time, so hindi ka reliable. Or we can also base quality on durability. Pag product, useful life in miles, resistance to rust and corrosion. Pag matibay, pag matagal yung lifetime ng sasakyan, so that is durability. Now, pagdating naman sa service, work holds up over time. That is durable. Yung ginawa, paggawa ng sasakyan, Tapos, inabot ng 5 years, no? Ganun katagal yung ginawa. Hindi basta-basta nasisira. Inabot ng 5 years. Iba kasi, nagpagawa ka ng sasakyan, then after 1 week, sira na naman, di ba? So, walang durability yung, yung work. Pero pag inabot yun ng taon, 5 years, inabot ng 5 years, no? Yung pinagawa mo, bago masira ulit. So, durability. You can also base quality on perceived quality. Pag automobile na product, tangible, top-rated car. Yan. Sabihin, pag bumili ka ng branded, okay? Yung brand pa lang, you perceive na matibay. No? Pag sa mga service naman, award-winning service department. So, you rely on the perceived quality. Yung brand, yung parang brand, di mo pa sinusubukan, di mo binibili yung sasakyan, di mo pa inakabili yung service, but because of perceived quality, kasi they are award-winning or meron silang pangalan. So, yun ang quality. And lastly, serviceability. You can also base quality on serviceability. Pag sa product yan, handling of complaints and or request for info after selling. Iba naman, handling complaints. So, itong dalawang to, no? Handling complaints sa product, handling complaints sa service. Ito yung CRM tinatawag natin, Customer Relation Management. So, isa na kasi sa marketing ngayon, hindi lang yung product ang magmamarket sarili niya, hindi lang yung price ang nagmamarket sarili niya, hindi lang yung promotion. Ang marketing ngayon na bago is the customer service. So, customer service, the new marketing. Ibig sabihin, pag walang magaling na customer relation management, either automobile or service auto repair, parang pangit ang quality. Pero pag may nakita silang good customer service, for them that is quality. Sabihin, they put into consideration yung welfare ng mga client or customers nila. Kaya meron silang CRM. Sabihin, they put premium on the welfare of the customer. Service quality, iba naman, convenience. Convenience. Pag service kasi ano yun eh. Look at the convenience. Parang ako no? If I go to a resto or fast food, gusto ko puan yung malambot. Yan. Medyo malapit sa bintana. Napaka-convenient yan eh. So never mind the food, never mind kung matagal yung order. Basta convenient lugar. For me, that is quality. Right? Or reliability, inuulit na naman natin to, no? Kung you're expecting something and it comply dun sa expectation mo and it will function for like 5 years, di ka iwanan. So, that is quality. Okay, iba naman, responsiveness. Ito ay sa service, yung binanggit natin kanina, no? Kung may sumasagot ka agad, kung they will readily answer for complaints or they will attend readily to complaints, so that is quality. Yung time din, sa Sony, no? So I will cite an example ng Sony. Sa Sony kasi, pag tumawag ka and you want to file a complaint, dapat within the day, no? Dapat ay ma-resolve yung complaints. There should be somebody who will answer within the day. Hindi na pinagpapabukas yung tawag ng yung complaints ng mga customers. So that is timely. Kung mabilis, that is quality. Although we can't avoid effects ng mga complaints, pero pag nag-complain ka tapos hindi inattendan ka agad, so dalawa ka agad yung problem. Pero kung may complain ka tapos inattendan ka agad within the day or right away, so for them, okay lang, that is tolerable. Kasi time is the essence. Assurance sa magagamit mo yung product na binili mo, that is quality. Kasi nagpo-promise na sample, you can use this for 5 years, pero isang taon lang ay nag-breakdown na kaagad. So, wala kang assurance doon. Pag magalang yung take for example sa mga resto business, no? Binabalik naman isang business, rest or fast food or beauty parlor, kasi may courtesy, magalang, polite, no? Yung mga attendant doon. So, sometimes nalalampasan ng courtesy yung quality ng service eh. Hindi masyadong maganda yung service but because of courtesy, magagalang yung mababait yung mga employee doon. So, binabalikan mo. And the tangibles. Pag sa the product, ang service kasi walang tangibility. Diba? Ang service na business, you can see the product but you can feel the result of the service na delivered sa'yo. Pag product yan na tangible talagang ito yung mga kitang-kita natin mga quality or feature ng product, mga evidence or proof. The quality talaga siya. Okay, examples of service quality. Ayan, so dimension, convenience. Sample niya, was the service center conveniently located? Pag malayo o dumaganda ang ganda kanyang service pero malayo, hindi sa convenient. Reliability, was the problem fixed? This promise, responsiveness. Yan, customer service personnel willing to attend. Sumasagot agad sa iyo. They are readily available. Pag tumawag ka, kahit wala yung person in charge, meron pa rin sasagot sa iyo, di ba? And time, how long did the customer wait? Masarap yung pagkain, pero ang tagal, di ba? Ang tagal ng kanilang service. Minsan iiwanan mo yung resto, no? Assurance, did the customer service personnel seem knowledgeable about the repair? So, pag ikaw na sa repair service center, no, it is important for you na sinasabi mo doon sa nagpapagawa. Kahit anong pinapagawa, nagpapagawa ng laptop, nagpapagawa ng cellphone, sabihin mo sa kanila kung anong gagawin mo doon sa product na kanilang pinapagawa. Para they are assured na, example, walang alam nila kung anong gagawin sa product. Kahit sa service yan example, nagpa-skin, ano ka, dito. Nagpa-skincare ka, nagpa-facial. Sinasabi nung attendant, ma'am, ito pong cream, i-apply mo pong cream na ito po ay, ito blah blah blah, ayan, di ba? Then in-apply sa'yo. Then pagkatapos naman, may machine na gagamitin sa'yo. Sasabihin sa'yo, ma'am, ito po ay machine na pang break, ayan. O isang machine na naman, ma'am, ito po ay laser na pantanggal. So sinasabi sa'yo, di ba? Kung ano yung gagawin, para you're assured na you are safe, you're assured na anong gagawin nila sa'yo. Kung anong gawin nila sa product or gadget na pinagawa nila sa'yo. Ma'am, ito pinagawa namin for 4 days, ganito po, papalitan po namin. Para assured ka na walang tatanggalin, number 6, courtesy of the customer service personnel and the cashier friendly and courteous. Tangibles for the facilities clean, personnel niya. Number 7, pag service ang iyong pinibenta or kahit product, no? Important din yung people, yung mga nagsiserve or nagbibigay. Kasi masarap yung product, quality yung product, pero gusgusin, madungis yung nagtitinda, di ba? Nagsiserve sa'yo. Para may epekto doon sa product na binibili mo, di ba? Parang ayaw mo nang bilhin kasi parang madungis yung attendant, di ba? Okay, so let's go to challenges in service quality. Ito yung mga problema pagdating sa service quality na tinitingnan natin. Okay, example, customer expectations often change. Ang pag-service ang inaano mo, iba-ibang tao yung bumibili, iba-ibang level. For example, this year, itong product binibenta mo is meeting the customer's expectations. Isabi natin mga customers, palaging gutom yan, palagi siyang may hinahanap na bago. So ikaw din, dapat ganoon din. Dapat sinasabayin mo yung mga gusto or preference, expectations ng mga customers mo for market research kasi pabago-bago yan Kahit service yan, no? Kahit service kanina, ang ganda ng gupit mo sa kabila. Sa first customer mo, pangalawang customer, ganoon din ang effort na binigay mo pero hindi siya satisfied, no? Yan ang problem, no? Iba-ibang level ng quality ang kanilang gusto. Different customers have different expectations. Ayan. Each customer contact is a moment of truth. Habang hindi mo pa nabibigay yung product or service, hindi ka pa complacent or satisfied na quality. Diba? Well, the moment na naibigay mo tapos walang reklamo yung ano. Kasi hindi mo pwede sabihin ang ibibigay kong service sa kanya, sample service ang yung po-provide. Hindi mo pa pwede sabihin quality, no? Hanggat hindi niya pa nararanasan yung binigay mong service. Malay mo, magreklamo maya, di ba? So, quality siya, na-render mo na yung, yung service. Customers' participation can affect perception of quality. Meron kasing product or service example, no? Sa service kasi, mas malakas yung participation ng customer kaysa product ang yung binebenta. Di ba? Tapos sa resto, di ba? Ang meron kang customer. Sometimes the customer can also participate in the transaction. Affected ka ng customer minsan di ba? Hindi tulad ng product ang binenta mo, pagbigay mo ng product, tapos na. Pero minsan sa mga restaurant, pero pang sinasabing iba yung customer di ba? Nagpapadagdag, di ba? Tutulong. Yung pag sa mga naman, sa mga beauty parlor, or example, skin clinic, or tawag dito, nail art salon, di ba? Hindi can affect perception kung hindi masyadong magaling yung nag-nail art sa kanila, di ba? Tapos merong mas magaling pa yung may alam pala yung customer sa nail art. Yan. Kahit ibang tao, yung nail art, the best. Pero pag isang customer ay mayroon ng knowledge about nail art painting or nail art, para sa kanya, parang hindi pa rin quality. Ibig sabihin, pag knowledgeable yung customers mo about the product you are giving or rendering, it can affect perception Pero pag yung customer ay totally ignorant or innocent or wala siyang alam sa service na yung binibigay, for them, mababaw ang kanilang kaligayahan, mababaw yung kanilang quality or perception of quality, di ba? Pero pag knowledgeable yung isang customer about the service, mataas or malalim yung kanilang perception ng quality. Fail-safing must be designed into the system. Fail-safing means error-proofing Yung bang pag gumawa ka ng product, you should be assured, you should assure na error-free yung product. Okay? And yun o yung service. Yan ang problem. Mahirap nating sabihin na error-free. Kasi unexpectedly, things will happen sa mga product na binibenta mo. So mahirap natin sabihin fail-safing. And fail-safing emphasizes a designing process and systems to prevent errors from occurring in the first place rather than simply detecting and correcting them after they happen. So medyo mahirap kasi bago mangyari yung error, dapat piniprevent natin. Kaya that is a challenge in service quality. Okay, so I think this one is the last topic or the last slide. Designing. Ito pa rin determinants of quality, performance. Designing. Kung natin design dito. Ayan. Design as determinants of quality. So, pag yung design will fit for purpose. Example, yung design ay will fit for purpose, will design product or service must meet intended purpose. Yung design ay yun talagang gusto ng buyer mo. So for them, that is quality. Or if the design is innovative enough, innovative features ng isang product, that is quality. Or user-friendly, yung design ng product. Example sa upuan, no? Diba may mga upuan na antay yung likod, parang hirap sa upuan. May mga upuan naman sumusunod doon sa sa shape ng iyong likod. So user-friendly or user-centered design. That is quality. Right? So iba naman, pagdating naman sa service. Service as determinants of quality. Service as determinants of quality. Service as determinant of quality is critical for customer satisfaction, especially in industries like healthcare, hospitality, finance, and retail. So ang service daw, pag timely, pag mayroong timeliness, the speed and efficiency with which service are being rendered, delivered significantly impact perceived quality. Pag mabilis yung pag-deliver, pagbigay, for them, yung timeliness ng service, that is determinants of quality. Pag service reliable, pag yung responsiveness, yung pag-respond ay mabilis, yeah, that is quality for them. And the design, the next one, dito yung conformance sa design. Design kasi is another thing pag innovative. Okay? Yung conformance to design, that is another thing. Kasi we are, para sa atin, we perceive, may pinis-perceive tayong design eh. Hindi pa natin na natatanggap yung product, pero ini-imagine mo yung design ay ganito, di ba? So, for you, that is quality. Na, pag dumating yung product sa'yo, at nakita mo talagang it conforms to expectation mo, so for you, that is quality. Sa iba naman, if there is an ease of use, madaling gamitin in isang produkto, isang product, for them, that is quality. Kasi nga, may mga product na complicated, pero mahirap gamitin. Diba? Parang pipindutin. So, for them, hindi sa quality. Sa iba kasi, pag madaling gamitin, there is an ease of use, for them, that is quality. Matibay nga, ang dami ng pipindutin, diba? Mahirap siyang gamitin. Hindi quality. Kasi yung mga taong, example, yung mga adult, ang mga medyo may edad na, parang hindi na sila masyadong, they don't have the time anymore to read manuals, pagkalikot ng isang product. Gusto nila yung pag-bigay sa gamit ka agad, gagamit na katalang ka agad, diba? So, ease of use, tawag natin dyan. Pabilis ang gamitin. Okay, so I think this one is my last slide for today. So, these are my references. A explanation dun sa ating apat na ginamit. And with that, guys, thank you for your time, for viewing, watching my video tutorial. And once again, guys, subscribe naman sa aking YouTube channel. And once again, this has been Dr. Cortez signing off. Hey, everyone.